Oh, here we are. I've accidentally hit the button.
I have returned.
Yo, yo. Gotta get my title updated. I forgot. One day I'll figure out how to make these titles better.
I just have us as Well of Ascension, Mistborn 2, Part 5, Chapter 23 to 27, the Archive. I'm gonna pour myself a drink, actually.
Go for it.
And then I would be ready to switch over if you are. I am such a bitch for these like little girly pre-made cocktails that they sell.
Hey, my man. Hope it's not that girly.
Yeah.
That's a margarita mix right there. And you know what? Funny enough, phenomenal segue into one of my topics for later on. So you know what you know what we're gonna do with that? I'm gonna put it right here for later.
Put it right here.
I'll put it right there.
Amazing.
I still say you need to get a drawing of you pulling the vest out and putting something in.
I do.
They have like a little piece of paper you're slipping in there.
I wanna like update. I've switched us over to my.
Oh, dude, I accidentally hit the button a while ago. We've been live on mine.
Oh, awesome. Amazing. Yeah, no. I've been wanting to update the PNG Jupiter anyway. I think there's a software that makes it a little bit like VTube rigging, and I really want to rig the eyes.
And you can, if you get a stream deck, you can really get some crazy shit going with that.
Yeah, really get crazy with it as well.
I'm just making sure I've got everything. I'm getting a description. right, there we go. Sorry. Oh, and then
Amazing. Yeah, you're all good. Please. No need to apologize.
There's not really a Twitch description, so I don't really need to worry about that. That's okay. How you been, homie? It's been a little bit. It's been a week. Another week. Another week fucking flew by for me.
And yeah, no, same.
That was a fast one.
I don't know if you're, I don't know, you know something? I do feel like despite me, like, again, I say this a lot to my friends at work. I feel like I'm like on the cusp of a burnout. But like, also at the same time, I'm like, I don't know if it's a burnout or if I'm just like fucking sick of everything at the moment, because I'm just like, just tired. Because also like I don't do all that much, and again, you can get burnout for anything, but I'm like, oh, I don't.
Well, because burnout's because of a compounding thing, right? It's not an individual basis. Burnout can happen to anyone for a myriad of reasons.
Yeah. I don't know if it's just like, because if it's like getting warmer and brighter again, I might be feeling better. If it's just like the still kind of ongoing winter blues that I'm having here, because it got colder again, and
okay, that's crazy, because it's been happening here too, where it got warmer again and then it tanked, and then it's coming back up. Today it's fucking 80 degrees outside.
The next week, yeah.
Oh, dude, it's crazy. I'm glad it's not just me here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no. But like on a bit of a brighter side, I asked my parents to send me my roller skates back, because I used to skate at my old place. Not well, but I tried. Yeah. And now I'm just waiting for the weather to get better again. We're gonna get Skull, my best friend and roommate. We're gonna get Skull some inline skaters, and also some like gear, a helmet and shit and stuff like that. And then we're gonna try and go, or I want to try and go skating once a week when the weather's nice. We get out some more.
Very nice. I forgot we're already on episode fucking 5, dude. I put episode 4 in all of my titles.
But yeah, how have you been?
Pretty
past
good.
Week.
I've been on a really great. So I'm not exercising as much as I wanted to, as much as I was last week. I'm still doing some, but I've been really, really great about maintaining a skincare routine, taking all of my vitamins, drinking more water.
Glowing.
Thank you. I appreciate it. I mean, it's a mix of both the better lighting and again, that fucking acid. There is a tangible difference in my nose. It's fucking spooky how much that really did change my nose, and it's like the one thing that ever helped. I've done face washes, I've done masks, I've done peels, I've done everything. I've fucking tortured myself to try to make my nose not red. And then Beth's like, "Have you tried this thing?" It's right here, and I'm like, "No, I haven't." So I tried it, and fucking Bob's your uncle. I've also been saying Bob's your uncle a lot. This is like the new thing I've latched
onto. Your uncle?
You not heard that one? It's an old one.
No.
Yeah, it's like definitely old British TV. Is like, you do a little bit of this, do a little bit of this. Bob's your uncle. Then you're done. You know what I mean? It's like a statement of fact. It is an inevitability, right? This is this way. That is that way. Bob is in fact your uncle. You have an uncle. His name is Bob, and we move on with our lives.
I've never heard of
ask one of our British friends. They'll confirm for you.
I will.
Well, ask the older one. Ask the older one. The younger one might also be like you and have no fucking idea what they're talking about. But
okay, I will ask the older one.
Other than that, Onion. Beth and I have become Costco people. So we've joined like maybe the most American establishment that exists.
Mm-hmm.
I've been tempted to take a video of like one of my Costco runs for you guys, because I think it would make your heads explode if I showed you the establishment that is Costco. It is the most American thing that exists.
Yes.
So I'll take a moment to describe for you the concept of Costco. So Costco's are so big, they need to buy out entire sections of towns because their one store is the size of several stores. So it's not necessarily a store, it's a complex. Technically, it's a warehouse is what it's classified as. It's a warehouse store. But the concept of it is Costco is able to buy things in such bulk and make specific deals with companies to get these items in such bulk that they then sell them to you in bulk, but at a unit cost that is maybe 25 to 30% cheaper than you can get anywhere else in America. And I mean anywhere else. So, although you have to buy 3 boxes or 6 boxes of things at a time, or 3 units or 100 units in some cases, absurdly large quantities, when you break the math down to per unit cost, you save an obscene amount of money. I'm talking about on meat. If you go to Food Lion, direct comparison, Food Lion in America, if I were to get a stew meat, so the pre-chopped, they use the bad cuts that they're getting rid of. They chop it up and like serve it to you. A pound of meat goes for about like $7.99. If it's bad like it is right now, it's $8.99 for a pound of like chopped stew meat at Food Lion in North Carolina per pound. At Food Lion, the same meat, better quality because they're sourcing it better at their butchers, and you know they're chopping it in there, is $2 cheaper per pound.
That's crazy.
It's crazy. And that's like the base one. So it's like if you go trickle down from there, there are some that we found. The one weird one out of absolutely everything, paper towels are not more efficient to get at Costco, which is very strange because toilet paper and every other paper product is, but not paper towels. But I think we also just found the weird exception that Food Lion has this one roll that is absurdly efficient per cost of like unit, because we do for paper towel, we do square footage, dollar per square foot. And it's like $1.50 cheaper for one, not the packs. We get the one big roll. It's like a jumbo roll. I don't even know if they sell these outside of America because it's a very stupid American thing to be like, you could get a bunch. You could get a bunch of normal ones or one
that
ultra
does sound like,
one.
Yeah, I was gonna say that does sound like an exclusively American thing. I'm sorry to
But
say.
yeah, no, I don't think that's sorry. I think that's just a reality of end game capitalism. I think we're just farther into capitalism than anybody else. You know what I mean? And we took the bad timeline. China seems to be on the better timeline right now, but that's because they're lying, saying they're not capitalists, even though they are. I digress. Not a political podcast.
Not a political podcast. Not this one.
No. I mean, depends on your definition of political. Fantasy politics are still politics.
Real and true.
I mean, sometimes more problematic depending on the the fandom.
Woo! Yeah.
Oh no, people are so triggered. My fucking title wasn't centered. There we go. There were like 3 people ever that are screaming in the comments. I did it. I found it mid pod. We're good. Outside of that, I've been on a good energy kick. Honestly, dog, multivitamins change the game. If you're not on a multivitamin yet, get you on one. It's brilliant. I'm food prepping. I made breakfast sandwiches for us for the week. Yeah, dude, it's awesome. It's really easy, by the way. Fun fact for you: a lot of the shit they make in restaurants, like it's pretty bad. So if you make something that's like half decent, and then you reheat it, it's about as good.
Okay.
So I've got a cheat code for easy breakfast sandwiches. If you want to, I can either tell you right now or after the pod. But I found like a really easy cheat code to make breakfast sandwiches in mass for the week. So you get like do you guys have small dinner rolls, like prepackaged rolls? Like you get a pack of them.
Kind of.
You know what I mean? It's like comes in a pack of like 12 or something like that. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's like thick and spongy. Specifically one that is big enough that you could cut into like a mini sandwich, like a tiny little sandwich.
Yes.
Yeah. So what I did was I took some of those and I cut it right down the middle, and then I got Beth specifically got prepackaged frozen sausages. I truly believe this was the best call out of everything that we did. She got the prepackaged frozen sausages, just the mid ones. We didn't have to do any portioning. We didn't have to cook any extra sausage. It didn't become like a big crumbly mess. And then just a bunch of eggs to make whatever version of eggs you like. I just scrambled them because I'm lazy and I wanted it to be quick. but I literally just
real.
an egg per sandwich, and then I did one more because I like extra egg. A piece of sausage per sandwich, because the little, if you get the right one, you know, the little tiny breakfast sausage is like the perfect like hamburger sized disc for the little bread. And you literally same pan, cook the sausages, cook the bread, cook the eggs, combine all of them, wrap them like you would see in a restaurant. Like imagine you see a delicious breakfast sandwich wrapped in a fridge section. It's just there. Wrap it like you would do that and put it in your fridge. Hit it in the microwave for 45 seconds. Put whatever sauce you want after you warm it up. Bob's your uncle. You have breakfast. You see how good it is? You see it? It works too well. It works aggressively well. I've been saying it nonstop.
It takes me out so much. It's in the middle of this. My immersion is broken.
In the middle of this breakfast, you crack some eggs, you take some sandwich. Your uncle, Bob's your uncle. It's like he's trying to wake you up from the Matrix.
Yeah. It's like, your Uncle Bob, remember? It's like, what?
Remember him, Bob. It's such a funny. If you've never heard the phrase before, it makes truly zero sense.
It's truly.
That's insane, dude. Oh my god.
It makes me. I don't know how else to describe it other than it breaks my immersion.
It breaks your immersion. It stun locks you. That's a one I've been using recently.
Me. Like my screen goes white and I hear the
You get flashbang.
That explosion.
Yeah, it's a flashbang. It's a flashbang.
Yeah. It's a flashbang.
Dude, I've been playing. You know how much fucking Deadlock I've been playing? I've been playing so much Deadlock. No. I've been thinking about playing CS2 to make my aim better for Deadlock.
Ollie.
Dude, I finally, it makes sense to me now. I get it.
Yeah.
I have fun when I lose now.
Oh, crazy.
Hey, you know what it is, Tavius?
Yeah.
Journey before destination, my friend.
Yeah.
I'm so dead ass. It really is so just knowing that. Especially, so here's the thing. I think when Deadlock comes out, I'll never play it again.
Yeah,
when Deadlock is fully released and it's out and they're like, this is a finished product, that's the day Deadlock's dead to me. Because the thing that's beautiful about Deadlock is the fact that it is in this amorphous state that when you are playing, it is the game's fault when you lose. You can play like truly a perfect game, but because of the state of the matchmaking, because the game's not out, because of the amount of bugs that are present, but because the community being so absurdly imbalanced. Now, of course, here's the thing. When you're talking about MOBAs and multiplayer games, you can always eventually get to this point. But in Deadlock, it is more true than in any other game that I've ever experienced ever.
Okay. Fascinating.
Because it's not out yet. The matchmaking's terrible. It's just again the fact that I am ranked where I'm at. Yeah, it's a closed beta, dog.
Closed beta. Sorry.
No. That's what I'm saying. You don't need to be sorry. I'm just telling you. Well, that's the thing because it's invite only. Once someone has an invite, they can send an invite. But until then, it's kind of like a semi-open in that way. But I'm not saying that to be like, oh no, you're wrong. I'm saying that like it does feel that way, doesn't it? Because of how far along, because their Valve is being so smart. They're changing how development works. You know what I mean?
Obviously.
But the issue is that, and I talked to Violet about this, with MOBAs, there's no such thing as a balanced MOBA. The concept of a MOBA is that it is imbalanced. That's what the game is. So why the fuck is there a competitive version of these games that are clearly imbalanced? Right?
Yeah.
That to me is the psychotic part of these things. It's like the professional level aspect of it. And looking at a game and being like, this is done, and seeing like the issues that appear and are prevalent in the, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
It's, but it's so much fun. I love playing with something. I just end of statement. I love playing with something. I love taking something apart, putting it back together, figuring out what's broken about it. Like, again, I was the kid that was taking apart remotes. You know what I mean? That's who that was always me. And Deadlock is a remote that I can take apart in that kind of fun way. You know what I mean? But the moment it comes out and they try to be like, this is how we want it to be and it's fair, but then they're constantly releasing these patches and these updates, I just don't think it's a game that you can ever look at and say is done and this is out now. And we're like, I feel like it's a fool's errand to do that. I feel like it's a different kind of game than one that could and should do that. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when the day comes that they're inevitably like, oh, it's done, I, as one of the several thousand people who have been playing this game, and be like, this is done? You're sure? Because it's again, dude, and I'm sure they'll polish out a lot. There'll be a lot of issues, and it'll get down to a point that the developers themselves feel like we've eliminated enough variables that this feels competitive and this feels fair in this environment. I know I'm not going to agree with them as the user that I am. I know myself. I just, you know what? Does that perspective? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You, especially as someone who knows me, right? I am not someone who's easily pleased in that regard. And in that, it's like they're not trying to claim that right now, but the developers and then by extension the users will believe that soon. When it comes out, they will believe that, and it will be at that point the game will be dead to me.
Yeah.
And
I get that.
I love getting to play this version of the game that is very clearly in progress. I think my favorite thing to do is to walk through a building that's under construction. I don't like marveling at the wonders of the world. I would want to see them be built. That's way more interesting to me.
Yeah, no, I totally get what you're saying.
But now, that is to say,
yes,
it is a game that is not fair, balanced, fun in the traditional way that games are fun. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which is very interesting. And the community's terrible, but I also don't interact with communities. You know what I mean? The majority of the things I like have terrible communities.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I get that. I get that 100%.
So I mean, that's why I have the community that I have and have garnered, because it's at least a group of people who I know I can tolerate. Because I'll be real, dog, I can't tolerate most people on the internet.
Yeah, no, that's real. I 100% feel you on that. That's so real.
That's a big part of why I keep this space and why I'm so anal about maintaining it the way I do, because even though, yes, there are people that will clash in what they like and dislike and what they believe and how they interact, it is still a microcosm of the internet. You know what I mean? That's my goal. Is I want a version of the internet I can tolerate. That's what I always try to craft with my online community.
So real.
I've been unraveling that recently. But yeah, so that's how my week's been. Thanks for asking.
You're so welcome. Oh my goodness.
Anyway, this is the Archive. This is Cosmere Book Club podcast.
Welcome to the pod.
Welcome to the pod. Today we are covering the finale of part 2. I would argue what I would call the beginning of the march into our walk of, like, we had such a huge fucking, it was like building and building and building, and then
oh my god.
So I'm glad we've got some background stuff to talk about today, because this was not an exciting chunk of chapters.
No, not really. It's like it was definitely, I think it was a lovely bunch of chapters.
Yeah, but enjoyable. Like, some great classic Sanderson moments, right?
Very, very, very classic. Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh my god.
But
it was just, not like the very like it's like to kind of jump a little bit off of your metaphor. It's like we've walked up to the mountain. And just before we are to start climbing the mountain, we're kind of like meandering down at the bottom, kind of like trying to find the best way up.
You
Is
know,
what this feels
you
like.
know what it really feels like? It feels like we've been walking up a hill that we thought was the mountain, and then we got to the top of that hill and saw what the mountain actually was, which is like 10 miles that way.
Yeah.
And we're not actually we actually haven't even started climbing the mountain yet. You've just realized after all that walking up that very long, arduous hill, now we have to walk to get to the mountain.
Yes. Yes. You're so right, actually. That's so true.
Welcome to the beginning of Stephen King's The Long Walk.
Very good, I hear. But that's not what this podcast is about.
Oh, but so we started on 23 this week, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank God. I was a little worried. My brain was a little bit scatterbrained because I listened to all of this on Thursday, by the way, because I had a crazy work day today.
All of this today.
Oh, that's funny. I had a really weird work day today. I had a 3-hour meeting to start my day, so I did not get. Yeah, it was very fun. 9 to 12 in a meeting. So
Jesus Christ.
we were chugging, but we made it okay. So I read all of this. I listened to 99% of this yesterday.
Yeah.
So 20. That's to say I wasn't 100% sure, but for 23, not a ton, not a bunch going on in 23. We got the return of Sazed back to the city. Got
the return of Sazed.
The fluffy little
so
return. Ellen being like weirdly like alpha male broy, like eat, like oh, shit, dude. All right.
It's like you know, I appreciate that it comes from a place of love, where he's like, hey, you look like shit and you look like you should eat something, so please eat something. And it's like, yeah,
but he's also, I mean, it is a king looking at a former slave and giving a command.
Yeah,
which I don't fuck with. I'm not that was, I think, if I'm honest, as I'm psychoanalyzing this, my revisit to Elend, definitely, this is the point. This is where my distaste of Elend, I think, really comes from. Where it's like he's beginning to embody and become the thing that he's supposed to be. However, the thing that he's supposed to be is a fundamentally problematic thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, that's true.
No gods, no kings. That's me.
Okay, yeah, no gods, no kings.
There were some banger quotes in this one, but did you have anything that stood out for you?
I do have written down the what what Ham said, where he said, like, I'm not a philosopher, I just like to think about things. And I was like, so, like a philosopher.
Well, it's a very interesting thing, right? It's a very, funny enough, philosophical discussion. How much, and a conversation I actually I did, this was one of my potential topics for this chapter. But I had a much different one for more, because I definitely wanted to save us time for us to pop off on the back half. But to visit the topic, since you brought it up specifically, it is a very Stormlight thing. I'll leave it there so that way we don't get too spoilery, but putting your mind in the Stormlight mindset as I begin speaking about this. How much does you embodying and being something make you that something? And how much of being told and being forced into something and embodying none of the aspects of that thing? Between those two options, which of those is more the thing, right? A king, that someone who acts like a king, who rules correctly, who rules justly, but is never granted or given the title, versus a king that is forced into the role, who sucks at it and is terrible at it and shouldn't be there and is not a good king. Between those two people, who is more kingly? Who is more a king? Who is the more correct, right person to call a king in that way?
Yeah.
Do you want to know the thing that changes from my perspective?
Yeah, tell me.
perspective. The
True.
angle in which you look at it and consider it from is the thing that determines what it is. Sound familiar?
No, you're right. Does sound familiar. Does sound familiar.
Thinking emoji. But the little quote, the one thing I did have that I thought was very interesting. This is where Ham and I like differ very fundamentally.
Oh yeah.
I believe I consider myself a philosopher because I consider and think about things, because I think about the way I think. I think if you reach that level of introspection, you are a philosopher. You're not a professional.
Yeah, for sure.
We're not getting paid for it, Ham, for sure, but we are doing it for free.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And doing something for free doesn't mean you're not doing that damn thing.
Yeah.
And like that's just something I found very interesting, as we've both kind of like talked about and agreed how I very much align with embody Ham the way Sanderson claims and thinks he embodies says it. I definitely think this is like a fundamental branching point between Ham and I.
Yeah, a difference. Yeah.
The exact quote that I had here was, how much does acting like a thing and doing things that something would do make you that thing? How much does ownership of a title give you that title or make you earn it or deserve it?
Yeah.
And I think that is kind of like the fundamental question here, right? Is Elend as valid a king as Straff, as valid a king as Set, as valid a king as Likal? Again, fantasy politics.
Yes. Oh my god. Especially given what we learned then in the, well, we'll get there. Hey, Ollie, you know what? We'll take this and we're gonna put it right here.
More poignantly, what should I put in the drawer for us to reference later to know what you're talking about?
I mean, I'll get to this discussion when we get to the last chapter, like the last minutes of the last chapter.
Copy that. So just you are responsible for remembering it. Note it down somewhere then, because I just don't know what my brain is not loading what to note for us. So that's okay. There is one thing I also did want to take to the drawer. We don't necessarily have to. I'll leave it to you if you think we want to talk about it later. I just thought it was really interesting. You know how there's like a mist that's like trapping people in their homes and making those people go crazy.
Yeah.
And then they're like finding, like says it's kind of like going and like a tall bald man is going finding these people who are trapped in their homes, who've been trapped in their homes from mist, who are going crazy. Because of mist that's outside of their homes, that's driving them inside of their home. Yeah.
That reminds me.
So you know, and the people at home know, do we want to revisit it, or we just kind of want to leave that there? Just leave that kind of like very clear through line there.
Yeah, I think we can just like leave that hanging.
Then if that is the case, I'll just kind of call this out. Again, I've mentioned this a number of times. It's something I find very validating as someone who is also wants to be a writer or is a writer. Seeing Sanderson just kind of do the same shit over and over again is so validating.
Yeah.
It's the most validating thing in the world. But that's going to be something I'm going to bring up in the spoiler corner later, because it's something I've been stewing on, dude. I've been really stewing on.
Ooh.
Yeah. So we'll get there.
Very excited.
Did you have anything else for 23?
I'm so fascinated between like on whatever Says and Twindle have going on. There's so clearly something there. Like,
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Like
I have no idea what you're talking about. She was just sitting in his room and he got really nervous about how he looked for literally the first time ever. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So there's clearly, and they held hands there for a moment at the end. Yeah, could be nothing.
Hey, dude.
Hey, this could be nothing.
Hey, dude. I've got a whole section of all caps notes I can't tell you about. That's all I can say. That's all I can say is just the tone shift, the heartbeat as like Sazed opens the door and he sees Twindle, and all of a sudden as you just oh my,
Yes.
All I can say is, all I can truly say is, genuinely,
Mhm.
there is
Mhm.
not a single thing like it in the Cosmere, and I mean that. That's all I can
Oh.
say. That's all
Oh.
I can say.
Okay.
Hey, dude,
All
remember
right.
this is the only I've only gotten this far in this book, so that's all that like. It's all in this book. This is everything. This is all we know, and I'm looking you in the eyes and telling you these two mean more to me than anything. When I tell you, when we got back here, and as I'm talking to you about it right now, I am getting goosebumps down my forearms, down to my legs. When this, the whole dynamic of, and this is the thing that I think we really miss with Sanderson, is the
Mhm.
depth that you learn through a perspective. I feel like the perspectives start to blend together a little bit in the modern
Yeah.
eras of the
Yeah.
Cosmere. And that's the real,
Yeah.
like, there is a tangible difference between when we're Ellen and when we're Sazed and when we're Vin and when we're Zane and when we're fucking
Yeah.
Straff. Like, I mean, we used to go from hero to pedophile. And now it's like, it's just a bunch of, it feels like it's a bunch of the same people. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah, I agree.
And the feeling of, you feel like you're Sazed. You feel the palpable tension
Yeah.
that Sazed
The
is feeling
tension, the nervousness.
instantly.
Oh.
He gets, oh my,
Oh my god.
oh my god, dude. There's,
Have we just found your OTP?
and in the truest of terms, as the phrase is used, actually, yes. I'm not joking. More than any other thing in the Cosmere, than
More than
anything
any
else.
other Cosmere couple?
Genuinely, more than anything, else.
Mm-hmm.
It is the
Mm-hmm.
thing. I think these two mean more to me than anything else, and you're gonna see why with me. You're gonna learn today. Hey Tavius,
Yeah.
you got a big storm coming, my friend. I'm not even joking. This is the first time I think I've ever said it to you out loud. You do
Oh,
have a
yeah.
big storm coming. And I'm not, like, the emotions I'm feeling
And
right
we're
now
not
and
even in
cannot
Stormland.
articulate, genuinely. Well, then there's a very interesting thing, a fun little phrase that was used very early on, actually a little bit before the ham quote. The last thing I'll talk about, before we move on. There's a quote there that Vin uses about the mist.
Yeah.
Or no, sorry, it's Sazed. I think it's Sazed talking to Vin. Talking about the mist. The mist floats in the breeze as if it makes the breeze.
Yes. Yes.
For the kids at home, slight spoiler corner. Cover your ears. I'm gonna put them here as long as I'm talking about spoilers. You've been warned about spoilers. I'll take my hands off in 3, 2, 1 when I'm done talking about spoilers. 3, 2, 1. We're in spoiler corner now. This is direct and entire confirmation that the mist is a shard. The mist makes the wind. We know that shards make the wind on the planets because of wind and truth. That is is fact. That is truth. So that is verbatim fact, truth, that the mist is a shard. Yeah. By the way.
What a crazy thing.
And that crazy.
Oh my god.
It would have been that would have been wild if I took my hands off my ears and you instantly spoiled some crazy shit. Just the moment I make it safe, they're like, yeah, isn't it so crazy that Vin and Ellen die in each other's arms in this chapter?
That would have been so fucking funny. Just spoil the entirety of Stormlight the moment you take your hands.
That's crazy that Zeth and Kaladin end up together. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy that they make out at the end of Wind and Truth.
Based of Sanderson to really take it where we knew it should have gone.
Where it should have gone the entire
the
time.
Entirety of the secret release of book 6 that he sent us was just so baked in with homoerotic tension. It just made sense.
Yeah, obviously. So was shipping it the entire time.
So
Didn't
stupid.
You know?
It's so stupid.
That's when you crack ship, actually.
Christ. Crack ship, you say. Do you have anything else for chapter 23?
No, that's it. That's about it.
Our last section, our last bit for 23, the epigraph, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Another just one sentence one. They really like to close out this last bit of part 2 with one sentences.
Yeah. Yeah.
The terrace rejected him, but he came to lead them.
What an interesting thing to happen.
I have something for the spoiler corner, but I don't even know if I can tell you about it. I'm gonna put it in the spoiler corner, and when we get there, I'll ask you the preemptive question.
Amazing.
All right. 24.
24. First of all, I want to once again reiterate that I need Zane to shut the fuck up every time that he opens his mouth, and every time that we have a chapter from his perspective, even if it's only the briefest of moments. When Strap opens his mouth, when Zane opens his mouth, when we get a Strap perspective, and when we get a Zane perspective, I need them to shut the fuck up.
It is
so much.
It is crazy to me you're putting them in the same boat. I really do.
I don't hate them the same amount. I think I hate. No, I know. I hate Strap more than I hate Zane.
Okay, that's all I needed.
Shut the fuck up
that's all I
needed.
That's all I needed to know. I'll take that. I'll that's fair.
Yeah. I just hate again. I hate Strap more than I hate Zane. I'll say that. If Zane were to come around and start being less edgy, I would probably also grow to like him a lot more. But as it stands, he gets on my nerves. But Zane gets on my nerves. Strap I hate. Strap I will strangle with my own 2 hands. Zane I will hit on the back of the head a few times and say, "Stop that." Spray him with a bit of water and then throw him in a bathtub.
Yeah, definitely like a cat. Definitely more a cat.
Yeah,
Strap,
definitely like a cat.
Put him down.
But
put him down. Absolutely not.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
But real short, real sweet. Just that little rooftop convo. We do get Zane like starting to clock a little bit. Like he's like, "Why can I never sneak up on you?"
Yeah, like, oh, why are you so good at this? I actually had noted down as like, oh, the drumming that Vin hears, that's the Well of Ascension, obviously. I think that was like pretty much confirmed when she was like, oh, and in the notes it also says, I hear the drumming from the mountain. It's like, yeah, it's the Well of Ascension. But I wonder if only Mistborn or only certain people can hear it, and if it can make itself audible to whoever it wishes to be audible to. Or if this has something to do with Vin's earring.
Well, I mean, if it was Mistborn, she missed her opportunity to ask Zane. If she's like, because she's only been asking other Mistings, right?
Mistings. Yeah.
I will say, I don't think verbatim they've confirmed if it is the Well of Ascension. I think that is a very good sort of astute snipe. But I don't think that's been like confirmed in text yet. Like verbatim, that's what that is.
Yeah.
Do you want me to tell you if you're right or not?
It's heavily implied. It's heavily implied.
Do you want me to confirm your snipe? Do you want to let it hang?
Please do, because I'm pretty sure that I'm right.
So I'm gonna just quick spoiler. You have sniped it. Absolutely, yeah.
Yeah.
I also shouldn't have nodded. I realized nodding also kind of potentially nodding or shaking my head may give any amount of information. But if you're reading here, it's you kind of get it.
Yeah.
But you know what we're gonna do? You know what we're gonna do with that rhythm though? We're gonna put it right here.
But
we're gonna tuck it right in there.
Right here? Yeah.
We're gonna put it right in there for later. Just again, the concept of rhythms and things having rhythms. We'll hold on to that. But for 24, the one thing that I kind of there wasn't a lot to pull for content, as far as like an interesting question goes. But I just kind of had an interesting parenthetical, not parenthetical, whatever, idea to pose to you. In modern society, along the lines of if you had a superpower, if you had this, if you had that, if you right now, I'll ask the question Zane asked to Vin, had Mistborn powers and could use them without consequence, what would you do? What would you do with Mistborn powers right now?
I think I would do a lot of traveling. It feels like a really great power to just like travel. Like I get a bunch of cent pieces and they just fly around a little bit, you know?
Where do you go? Where's your first stop? Because remember, you have to launch yourself. You are traveling via catapult. So first you have to train yourself to that point. So we'll assume you get yourself up to a point you can travel feasibly, like well enough.
Yeah, I think I would see how long it takes me to get from here to Berlin. How long that would take me? Yeah.
I'll say
I think it would
you're touching on a very interesting thing that we get to later. I don't want to spoil too much, but the concept of like using these powers to travel far distances does come up later in this book. So it'll be a very interesting thing that we might eventually be able to talk about a potential top speed for Mistborn travel later on in this book.
I'm realizing as I'm talking, I'm also realizing like, oh, I think what I would actually do is go into my job and be like, I would like to only work like half as much, but I would like to also get more money, and then I would use that to manipulate my boss.
Well, you don't get to it's not brainwashing, Tavius. You can't. It's not a Jedi mind trick.
Yeah, no, but I would try to,
get yourself fair.
Yeah, good as Vince. I do that.
I mean, I don't know if her use of it's that good, but I don't. Respect. I understand what you're saying. Absolute respect. I know. I get you. I get you. Absolutely.
Part time and get more money.
How about no?
How about yes? You will give me this.
For me,
these are the droids you're looking for. These are not the droids you're looking for. Sorry.
I think they are. No, now they are. Now you're fucked. They're shooting you. You're lit up. I think.
What would you do?
I don't want to get too real. I live in America in 2026. I think I go a little Kelsier and drain the swamp a little bit. You know what I'm saying? I'll leave it at that. I'll leave it at that. I think, unfortunately, if I am given great power, I do not wield it terribly responsibly. I do some things that will benefit the great good, and I'm not going to get a lot of it done because I'm going to get myself killed pretty quick, and I'm going to leave it at that. I'm going to get some pretty important shit done, and then I'm going to go out. You know what? I'm going to go out just like Kelsier. You know, that's exactly how I'm going to go out. You know what I mean?
You're also going to spawn a religion.
Yeah. Well, Kelsier wanted to do that. I think I'm a little bit more on Vin and Sazed's side, where it's like a little bit. I'm not super on board with the concept, but it might happen. You know what I mean? You see a fat dude with long hair flying through the sky. You know, things might happen. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe people mistake you for Jesus.
Fat Jesus. Thick Jesus with fucking super thick Jesus. But that's pretty much all I've got for 24. 24.
Yeah, same.
Another short one.
I think Zane at some point tells Vin that she's not taking him seriously, and I wrote down as a note, because again, every time like he speaks, I'm really upset, but I did write down as a note for that. It's like, yeah, who would take you seriously?
I mean,
you fuck ass Batman wannabe.
You immediately get kind of kicked in the ass though, where Vin immediately takes him seriously right after that, where she's like, oh fuck, wait, actually this is an important opportunity. because she needs to, Tavius, because it's important. Because you hate the guy, just because you don't like him.
Yeah, he has to be fucking plot important, and I hate it. I don't like that he's plot important, Ollie. I don't like it.
Just remember, whatever you imagined Elend as, just put Zane with like an edgy emo haircut cupped over his eyes, and that's what Zane looks like. Just Elend with like an emo swoop on it and like scars. With dark hair. Yeah, with like the track mark scars down. You know what I mean? Like that's all he is. He's just Elend if he listened to Black Veil Brides. Like that's all he is. Like
what a fucking snipe. That was like my formative metal.
Hey, there's a reason why I always tell you that there's a reason I always tell you should talk to Beth more, okay? That's all I could say.
I did have one more thing to think for this chapter where they like Zane talks about what would the younger you think of you now, and then Vin is like, well, I have changed, and I was like, yeah, somehow he doesn't seem to understand that people like change out of their or grow out of their anger, because he's just grown into his anger and Vin grew out of it.
Well,
which I found like really like
how much of that was because of Vin and how much of that was because of the environment around her.
Yeah, because of her environment. Because that also mentions like, oh, would she have been
for
if
full
she had...
transparency, because that sounded really misogynist. I believe it's 50-50. I don't think it's 100% the environment. I believe the woman is also equally important to the circumstances that she's in. I'm not trying to belittle women. I know I look like a man, but I'm not. I'm not a misogynist. I just have misogynistic tendencies because I was raised AMAB, I promise. It just sounded misogynistic. I'm not actually. Just like Brandon Sanderson. You know what I mean?
I like that a few podcasts ago when we did this like in between where I still had the shitty manager and we were just like shooting the shit for one episode, and I was on this like big old rant about book talk. You were like, no, piss them off.
Yeah, get them. Get them. I don't care, dude.
I'm not misogynistic. Okay. I'm not misogynistic.
Yeah, you know what the difference is, Tavius? You're a VTuber. They know. I look like this. I'm white and I have a penis. I've got a target on my, and I'm aware I'm not even supposed to say that, but I'm also know because I'm a member of the LGBT and I've been ostracized because of how I look.
Oh fuck. I'm so sorry.
No, it's just how it is, dog. It's okay. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. Saw a beautiful podcast where a phenomenal black comedian was on John Marco's podcast, and she had a phenomenal line. It was like, just because y'all are starting to taste of what it's like to be black doesn't mean you have to boo-hoo about it. Because you know what? Based as fuck. I love that woman. She's right as hell.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, oh no. You know, like, I'm not that, you know what I mean? But I'm also going to call it out. I'm going to point it out when it's there because that's me.
Yeah. Anyway,
I digress.
That's all I have for this chapter.
Fun little note. Chapter 24, the Allomancy symbol, like the weird lines with the dots and the slashes. 23 is number 23. Everything leading up to chapter 23. When it goes to chapter 24, it goes back to 1.
Oh, fascinating.
And then 25 is 2 and 26 is 3. Like it resets at 23 for some reason. That's just a fun little, yeah, hey. There's a weird thing, little weird thing there we're seeing. You know, we don't know. We don't know nothing going on there. But 20 our epigraph for 24. He commanded kings, and though he sought no empire, he became greater than all who had come before.
Interesting.
Very. That takes us to chapter 25. Where we
shopping episode.
Our literal shopping episode. Brandon Sanderson taking a page out of the fucking Japanese playbook. When's our beach episode, Sanderson? Come on. I wanna see Seizen in a mankini.
Okay. I know you want to see that.
You're saying me you don't? You know how ripped that dude is. You got some muscle.
True. I want to see Ellen in one of those Speedos or whatever they're called.
A mankini. You want to see Ellen in a mankini.
That's called a mankini.
The very tight Speedo that like really rides up a little bit. Yeah, it's a mankini. You know what I want to see? You apologize to my boy Spook. Because he got cleared this chapter.
Sorry. I am sorry, I am sorry, and I'm also glad that it's not Spook.
Thank you. That's all I needed. That's all I need. My boy's clear. My boy's clear.
That leaves Dachshund and Clubs and like, oh, they were both. I have both like suspicions for both of them during this like not during this chapter, but during this like listen through, and I was like, oh, I really don't want it to be like. Obviously, I didn't want it to be any of the inner crew. I don't want it to be any of the inner crew. But again, my favorites are cleared, and now also Spook is cleared. So I'm glad that they're cleared. I'm glad that that we get more clarity on.
This is one of those big secrets where I can say absolutely nothing at fear and risk of giving away anything. So
it's not Breeze, it's not Spook, it's not Ham. It's obviously it's not Ellen. Obviously it's not Vin. Obviously it's not Ashur, because Ashur's just been there the whole time. I was like, oh god, what if it's Ashur? It's not Ashur. So it's either Doxson or Ups. And that makes me kind of again. It's.
I mean, one of them's provable, one of them's not. That's the tough part.
One of them's not. Yeah.
But very fun, very interesting view. Some good depth building for Tyndall.
Very introspective chapter. Also, I really, my note for this is like Vin's like seeming reluctance to allow herself to be more than one thing. Like she's either this badass evil Mistborn, or not evil, but this badass Mistborn who only wears trousers and like is.
It's okay. I think it's okay to acknowledge it. A little like assassin, like in the shadows, darkness.
A little evil assassin Mistborn, only like who is very boyish, and or this like noble lady who wears dresses pretty and goes bald. And I'm like, well, you can be both. That's both aspects of your character that you can choose to embrace, whatever you want and however much you want.
Nuance and complication is scary when you have so much mental stack being taken up by the weight of a man dying and putting a religion on your shoulders.
Yeah. That's true.
I mean, so it's a very interesting dichotomy of experience that poor little Vin is getting here.
My poor baby.
But in that, like you said, there's very much this kind of battle and I think this is where Sanderson, although the perspectives that he can embody can be a little bit problematic, especially as a white cishet man, especially when this was written pre-2010, remembering that Mistborn is an older book. This is pre-2015 at the very least. I can't remember. If you want to look up for us when Well of Ascension came out, I would appreciate that. But like the timing of when this was coming out and what it was okay to talk about and the awareness of culture and society, it did allow for him to write challenging gender norms in a very interesting way, where exactly like you're talking about, Vin is embodying these very like tomboyish boy tendencies, male, masculine traits of being this badass assassin, this thing that like Sarah J. Maas is very much lauded for. I would argue not like rightfully so. A lot of what I've read from her is just her leaning into stereotype and not challenging it, but using it in a way that I am not comfortable with as a reader. But I'm also
August
not
21st, August 21st, 2007.
2007, dog. That came out a year before Black Eyed Peas' Let's Get R-Slurred. That came out 2008.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like when you think about that in the timing of what he's doing and how he's been thinking and presenting things and what he's been writing about, I will say this, it does make me think at times I've been slightly overcritical, but I'm also a firm believer that you shouldn't take time that much into account into the criticism, because there were people around at that time that were more aware. You know what I mean? And just because it wasn't as easily available doesn't mean it shouldn't have been presented.
Yep.
But that does take me to the topic that I said you were alluding to earlier, which was a topic I've talked to you about before, and just something that I think this chapter really embodies in a really great positive way, which is Vin, who is very much like a more boyish, more tomboyish AFAB person, is getting an opportunity to go and girl out a little bit. And both of us as like LGBT both like mask presenting people, I think there's a very important thing to acknowledge that in order to be healthy, even cis people, in order to be healthy, there's a thing where like sometimes you gotta girl out as a dude. Sometimes you gotta bro out as a chick. Sometimes you need to embrace these alternative aspects of culture and society and let yourself go and be pretty or be dirty and be like gross or be fun. And it's like challenging that despite what you're trying to present as, and knowing that both sides for every human is healthy. Like it's such a fucking big, important thing.
It is. It's this like, I can tend to struggle with this a lot because I am a trans guy, and I know what I look and sound like, and you know, I sound and look like a woman.
Disagree.
But I do really
Disagree. Look, by the way, I'm not saying that to gas you. You put a lot of effort into presenting in a very androgynous and masculine way, and that is how you read. Like from the external perspective, so you don't sell yourself that way. I know you also, in your day-to-day life, mask in different ways the same way I do, to present in ways in order to move through society in a way that's more comfortable, because 2026 we've regressed a little bit. Thanks, America.
Yeah. I mean, I am kind of, I wear little like trans and he him pins, and I try to be like,
good.
You know,
good for you.
I am more publicly trans.
Good for you. I'm not, dog. I'm so for real. I'm the most closeted human alive in public. I am a he him man.
But even then, sometimes I know what I look, and I especially know what I sound like. I will be read as, I'm so sorry. I will be read as like a woman or as feminine. But I do really like wearing makeup, and I like wearing dresses, and I have this like blue ball gown that I got like, technically speaking, like for quote unquote a cosplay, but I do have it because
you have it. You get to photo. Yeah, absolutely.
I have it and I like it.
Can I say something that's going to get me crucified by the LGBT?
Come again?
Can I say something that's going to get me crucified by like the average LGBT person?
Yeah, go on.
I don't think makeup is inherently feminine. I do think dresses are. I think there's something about dresses and gowns that are inherently feminine, like verbatim, like outright. I think makeup is something that like cultivated and spread because of female culture. But now, if we're really honest, like in modern society, in a society where we are being presented to the world at all times via the internet, via people who are like streaming and doing things, cosmetic care and makeup is a universal gender neutral thing now, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Like that's evolved beyond that. But gowns inherently, I think, highlight a feminine features inherently, whereas makeup can highlight multifaceted aspects of that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I'm more than happy to be proven wrong to see a dress that is purely 100% masculine. But I feel like there are dresses that highlight masculine aspects and features, but they're still feminine garments. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that they can't be masculine at all, but I'm saying like you get what I'm communicating. You understand?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Especially like also like, you know, I think makeup kind of originated in a space where like everyone at some point in history was wearing makeup, like both the men and the women.
That's so true. Yeah, especially
dresses
French,
have always been this like very feminine thing. They're like historically have always been very feminine, and you know, I'm also like of the opinion nothing should be gendered, but societally a lot of things are, and dresses are like one of those things where like especially when you like see men wearing dresses, it's like and you know, you're wearing a dress that's like it's a feminine thing, and it's radical because you as a man are wearing a thing that is feminine. And that's why, you know, why that's always such a big deal when it happens.
Can I amend the statement slightly?
Yeah.
If I'm truly honest, I don't think it's bad that things are gendered in the way that there are things that lean more masculine than feminine, in the way like dresses are more masculine, or dresses more Christ, I've been drinking. Dresses are more feminine, and like guns are more masculine, right?
Yeah.
In the way that like that is what makes what we are talking about special and poignant, is that as people who are actively embodying aspects of society, you and I, me being societally presenting, you attempting to societally present more as a man in society.
Yeah.
When we get to girl out a little bit, one might argue this, right? In terms of like toxic masculinity is girly. The two of us talking in depth about something we enjoy about is a feminine trait to toxic masculinity, right? But then you see two dudes talking about sports. That's a feminine thing that two dudes are engaging in, talking about something that they like. You know what I mean? It's like that's that weird thing where it's like, as a culture, as a society, because there are biological differences that as society has proliferated, we've latched onto in a kind of unhealthy way. They are there and we cannot change that. And I think because of that, it has developed in such a way that because that is the way things are, leaning into that in a way that is healthier is a good thing. What I do wholeheartedly agree with is nothing should be exclusionary to gender. Gender should not mean someone cannot do something. But I think it works as like a guiding post of flavor. You know what I mean? Vanilla versus chocolate versus strawberry. Trans or strawberry, by the way. Don't tell me why that's true, but that is the way it is. I don't know why men I don't know what between men and women are vanilla and chocolate, but that's men and women, and trans are strawberry. And if we're talking Neapolitan, why that's the case? It's because I guess vanilla and chocolate's the societally assumed, and then strawberry's the alternative, right? As like societally, I'm not saying it's the alternative in the way that it should be, but it's the way that it's presented in society. You and I are seen as alternative options. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We are certainly not the norm. That's just the way it is. I think not the podcast to talk about that. I'm gonna take a left turn before I get way too on a soapbox about the LGBT. I love my people. All groups of people have their flaws. We have less than the other ones. That's all I can say. I digress. That is to say, but the whole point, though, the reason we got on this topic of conversation is exactly what Vin gets to experience and then gets ripped right back out of at the end of this chapter. But I think is very important, and both of us very much get to acknowledge, but not enough in the LGBT do, which is that all aspects of all genders are important to embody in some ways for a person in a society to be healthy.
Yeah.
I think you need that healthy balance, and it's okay and good to lean more one way than another, but you need all facets in order to be a complete individual.
Yeah, exactly.
Did you have anything else for 25? Did you have any fun like topics or insights that you were able to pull?
Yeah, no, it's just I was just like really in on the fact that like I want and need Vin to understand that she can both be the badass assassin and then also the the pretty noble woman that she wants to be, you know?
Well, then
I want her to understand, realize that one day.
It seems like there are both people in a world that believe that as well, but we'll talk more about that dressmaker in a couple chapters.
Yes.
Our epigraph for 20. Oh, the one note that I thought you would really appreciate, all caps. I had mommy daughter shopping episode. Yay. It was just very cute. Okay, Twindle, she's being like, I know you're being harsh to Ellen, and her just explaining like, Ellen needs a harsh hand. I don't think you need anyone to be harsh to you, baby.
No, yeah.
But our epigraph for 25. He fathered no children, yet all of the land became his progeny.
Mm-hmm.
Which takes us to chapter 26. That our new meeting, another meeting now that we've seen Ellen to kind of locking into his role, where this is the meeting with Straff. Sorry. I just wrote down the meeting and didn't really write down.
Oh, I do have one thing about this chapter at the
Mm.
beginning where Assure's like, how can you tell that I'm a boy Chandra? Like the gender is very like difficult to tell with my people. I was like, question, why do you guys have gender in the first place when you're shapeshifters? You can be anyone and like why is there a gender, in the first? Why are we not just like
Mm-hmm.
all gender neutral or both or neither or
Mm-hmm.
and
I have an answer to that, by the
why
way.
is that why huh
I have an answer to that, but keep going.
oh yeah, this is like why yeah it's yeah, I wrote down, I argue counters having gender at all is pretty stupid.
You're
They can
not.
be anyone anytime. I
I
think that's I don't know, it feels redundant to what they are.
Because I think very specifically, this is a peek and a view into 2007 and the concepts of where we begin to see
True.
this is the mindset and perspective that we're watching people dig their heels into over the last like 6 years now, as we've been watching politics get worse and worse. Where what we're watching is Brandon Sanderson conflate sex and gender, right?
Yeah.
Where as Khandra, because they exist as a sex, although their entire culture and society revolves around their ability to present as any gender, their biological sex still determines their gender, despite that fact. It is literally a flaw and a failure of this being written in 2007. And I think if Brandon Sanderson were to go back, he would make them a genderless society with biological sex, because that is the kind of dude that he seems to be. However,
Yeah. Yeah.
this was written at a point where that wasn't the case. And if he were to do that now, that would break continuity.
Yeah, fair enough.
So
Fair
now
enough.
he's trapped by the kind of theological reasoning that he wrote in 2007.
Unfortunate.
That,
Unfortunate.
now, this is my belief. This is one thing I feel like not enough people say. This is what I
Mhm.
understand to be the case. There is zero proof or evidence to back that up.
Mhm.
However, from what we've seen from him, it seems to be more appropriate because we in the last 20 years have learned so much more about gender as a concept, as a society,
Yeah.
especially in remembering that Sanderson's lensing is America. He is an American from
Yeah.
Utah, of all places, like
Yeah.
maybe the most
Yeah.
sheltered state, and the dude's a fucking
Yeah.
Mormon. And on top of that, right? Because then we see
Yeah.
genderless characters. They do exist. They are around, where he challenges gender in these different ways. However, again, this was written in 2007. Let's get Arslerd hasn't even been written yet. I feel like that's a
Yeah.
very good kind of point. 2008.
That,
You know what I mean?
that's
That's our
fair.
pin
That's fair.
of like
Yeah.
hey guys, maybe we're taking this too far.
Yeah. I'm not even sure I was conscious and like, I mean, I was conscious, but like I don't remember
Like
like
turned
anything
on
from
as
that
a
year.
human.
Yeah, not turned on as a human.
I was 10.
In 2008 I was 7.
There you go. So I was getting
Was
there.
that
I was aware,
mm-hmm.
but not a lot going on. Very uncomfortable. Just this leaned into the good uncomfortability. This is what I mean. It's like Sanderson knows how
Oh,
to make you uncomfortable without, hey, this guy's a pedophile, fucking children.
it was like, oh, let me get this girl that's like younger than my son's side piece and but also kind of looks like her. It's like that's weird and fucked up and why are you like this? Like
Yeah, it's like we were plenty
I
weird and uncomfortable earlier on in the chapters. You know what I mean? But again,
yeah,
and I think an important thing that we missed earlier on that really is sinking
yeah,
in right now, 2007. But
2007.
we don't
Yeah.
want to turn into the
Montreal.
our grand they're saying the n-word, but it's just from their time. It's like, no, it's still not okay. And this is what I mean, right? This is what I'm
Yeah.
talking about when I'm saying the things I'm saying. It's like, what are we doing here, Sandy?
Yeah. No, it's Yeah, I want to kill Straventure with my own bare hands. My God, I think I have like every time like this week I got a lot better with like just making notes of stuff that I wanted to specifically like bring up as a topic. But every time like Strav like works, there's like I do have like
I still do play-by-plays. I just what I do is I bold my topic. Is I do my play-by-play notes as
fair
I'm
enough.
listening, and then I'll
Mhm.
pitch topics to myself like, oh, is this a fun one? Does this sound fun? And then the one I really want to do, I bold, and that's the one I'm like, okay, this is the thing
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
like pitch. This is the thing I want to focus on.
I have 3 notes about like Connor having gender is stupid, and then
Mm.
I'm like I will kill Straff with my bare hands. The stupid disgusting thing. I swear, Straffventure when I get you, Straffventure. It's
I mean,
fucking
we know, to be clear, we still
oh,
need that energy. We don't want to get rid of that energy entirely
oh I
by
hate him
any
so
means.
much. I
We
hate him
need
so much.
no
I hate him
fuck
so
this guy. I
much.
mean, again,
Oh my god,
again,
Ollie.
this is the utility. This is why we
This
want,
is why.
yeah, right.
Yeah.
Because as much as we don't fuck with the villains in Stormlight Archives, I don't know if there's one villain we hate this
I don't think
vehemently.
I really hate any of like
Hate.
I really dislike, I'm always like, oh Moash, but
Right?
I've
Yeah.
never
All right,
reacted this
no,
strongly.
relax. Be careful there, dog. That's spoiler. That's a spoiler. We have to go edit now. You just let it slip. You gotta be
Alright,
careful.
alright.
Watch the names. Watch the names. You can reference. You can be vague. Never don't drop names. You're good. Just remember this is no one's gonna watch this shit. You don't need to worry about here, but then we're practicing. You know what I mean? This is what we're building
I've never had a reaction this strong to any of the Stormlight villains. Not to any of them, like even the ones that I'm really like, grr, you. But like, I hate Starfighter more than anything.
Dude.
I don't think I've ever had an affectionate character this much.
He did a good job. You gotta give
It's a
him that.
great job.
He
It's
did
a
a really
great
good
job at making me hate this motherfucker more than anything else.
You gotta give it to him. And it's like
You gotta
there's
give it
the
to him.
answer. That's the answer as to why, because it's effective.
Oh, I hate him so much.
But
I
I
hate him so
didn't
much.
just a big exposition chapter here, honestly.
Exposition chapter. I also, um, I to bring up that one meme that's like, I was so excited by the prospect of Alan manipulating his father that I briefly lived in a world where there wasn't a spy in the inner circle. Because I was like, oh yeah, it's gonna go great. They laid it all out in front of us, forgetting the one heist rule that's like, if you lay the plan out, it's not gonna happen this way.
Well, then
I was like,
also, but remember how it
oh,
ends. Despite everything. Despite
still works
everything.
out. Still works out. Oh.
Our last bit was that's 26. You got anything else for there?
No.
Our chapter for 26. He was forced into a war by misunderstanding and always claimed he wasn't a warrior. Yet he came to fight as well as any man.
I think I'm quite a lot. It's just like completely like, oh, he always said he wasn't, but then he was so great. It's like, okay.
Well, I mean, yeah. So I mean, they're not saying that he wasn't. So the it's the dichotomy of the person, right? Not a father is a father to the people, isn't a warrior made to fight, right? I mean, what do you think they're talking about here? Who do you think they're talking about?
I think they're talking about what was his name? Like the author of the notebook.
Alendi?
I forget what his name was. It's Alendi. Yeah, not I was like Rashek? No, not Rashek. Rashek's the person writing this. And Alendi's I think who
we don't know. Remember, we're in a new part. So this is a new epigraph section. We don't know who's writing this.
I figured this was still like just the thing from earlier.
Well, I'm just going off of the rules of epigraphs, which is usually when we're in a new part, the epigraph changes. That's my.
It hasn't the previous was Mistborn.
That's true. The previous Mistborn was tying through the one book. That's true. Not always. I guess that is more a Wind and Truth. I think that does that, where it's like every part is a different one.
I think it's just Stormlight generally that does that, where it's like every part is something different. Because I'm pretty sure it's in Way of Kings is also like.
They do different books. They do different sections in books in those books.
Yeah.
They will. It's not just the one section. They'll jump between. But you're not incorrect.
Yeah.
You're not incorrect. That it leans heavier.
Yeah. So I was just assuming that they were talking still, that we were still on the.
No, it's not. Hey, you're forbidden from analyzing that. Let's move on. Chapter 27.
Okay.
But my first note for chapter 27 is chapter 26, part 2. Where it's like, what, too much of a pussy to make a fucking hour and a half chapter? Didn't want to fucking do. Oh, okay, I see you, Sandy. Fucking coward. Just do it. Make it an hour and a half. Make a long ass chapter. This is the same chapter. We know it's the same chapter. Literally nothing changed other than they left, and then now we're picking up where we left off. That's the only thing.
I think my big thing in this chapter is that Ellen in this moment is kind of confirming what Zane was saying to Vince, like, oh, he's only like using you and seeing you as, which isn't like, I know he's not doing it on like, I think he is generally just like very excited. It's like, yeah, I did this. We like, I think for the moment we have it, and then he's like, at the same moment, it's like, yeah, I said Vin's gonna kill him. Isn't that the cool? I said Vin's gonna fucking kill him. It's like, hey, yeah, she's right next to you. That feels like very objectifying. It's like, yeah, and it's like he's holding the knife to Straff's throat, and the knife is thin, and it's just like I know he doesn't mean it from a place of malice, but like, it reads very much the thing that they will say. It's like, oh, they're just using you just a weapon to them. Yeah.
I mean, it is. I mean, that's what he is doing, to be clear. Like, verbatim, exactly. Actually, that, like, whether or not it is a bluff or not. And again, this kind of leans back to what we were talking about earlier. How much does pretending to be something actually mean you're being that something? How much does acting like you're doing something actually mean you're doing that something? How much does pretending and doing mean the exact same thing? And at what point do those lines begin to blur? Again, like, what's the whole fake it till you make it? You know what I mean? Embody a lie until it becomes your truth. That's just people. Yeah. You know what I mean? And I think that's like a core fundament of the Cosmere. And I think also one thing I really loved was seeing here, Elend and Vin, Sanderson really just leaning into his blueprint once again of like big king, one assassin, person who wields the knife themselves. It's the Sanderson blueprint. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. It is.
Nothing wrong with it, but it is he follows a blueprint.
He does follow a blueprint. Yeah. It leads back to that thing that you were saying. Like, it's really refreshing to just see him do the same thing over and over again.
It feels good. It feels good as someone who tries to make things. It's like there's a reason why he's successful, and I think that's a perfect little segue to take us into the spoiler drawer. I want to take us there so that way we can remove stuff. Please, yes, our last bits.
What I was saving for this chapter actually. What I was saving for this chapter was when they take the title away from, like, when he's disposed, when Elend is disposed, he's still like, does that make him any less of like a king? Like, just because they're taking the title from him? Is like, because I still think he has the makings.
You want my answer? You want my opinion?
Of a king, yeah.
He's exactly the same amount of a king as he was before, which is not at all.
No.
That man never set up a kingdom. He set up a democratic republic. He was never a king.
Yeah, true. I think he was.
You know what Elend was? You know what Elend was if he could be voted out?
A chancellor.
A president.
Yeah, a president, a chancellor.
He's the president of Luthadel. Donald J. Elend.
No, don't Donald J. Venture. No, that's his father.
Listen, we're gonna crack a great deal with Straff. We're gonna put Straff against Set, and it's all gonna work out famously. You don't need to worry about anything. I'm gonna start a war, and it's gonna be wrapped up quickly with Straff Venture. Don't you worry. We're gonna go over the Northern Dominance. It's gonna be over in 5 days.
Did we do this also during Stormlight?
Probably. Somebody's. There's a Trump in Storm. There's a Trump in all of these. It's America. He's a fucking American. Of course, there's a Trump present.
Where was I? But I think at least he was like in the making of being a better leader than he was before.
Certainly, I mean, yeah, he's literally being trained by the greatest king trainer of all time.
Exactly. So, but yeah, I still think I would still think of him as like somewhat of a leader because I believe in my boy Alan Venture, and I read the description of the next book.
I mean, again,
some time ago before we started this. So,
how much does being a leader and holding a title make you a leader? Right? Look at Kelsier. Kelsier never held any titles. He made a title for himself.
Yeah, the survivor.
And then gave one to Vin, cursed her with it.
Yeah. The heir of the survivor.
But that is going to be all for us today in our mostly spoiler-free section of the archive. As always, thank you so much for joining us if you've stuck around for this long. As always, I have been Vezin, or Tiny Hut Tales on YouTube. With me, as always, has been...
I am the Pixel because, as the famous The Lopin once said, everyone deserves a the in front of their name. The _pixel_x most everywhere because the _pixel is seemingly taken everywhere.
So is Vezin. That's just how it goes.
Yeah.
There's enough, which is weird because that's like my name. That's like legally my part of my name, which is weird that someone's taken it. But we are going to get into some deeper spoilers for Stormlight Archives, the greater Cosmere at large. If you are not comfortable with it, get the fuck out of here. If you're still watching this, how did you get this far? Thank you for watching. I digress. So we've got a couple. You want to cover the Mistborn stuff before we get into the sort of greater Cosmere stuff?
Yeah, let's cover the Mistborn stuff first.
So my first question to you, my friend, is exactly how much of Sanderson's asshole do you know that you've seen? How like he's been waving it in your fucking face. It's brown, it's dirty, it stinks, and you don't even know. So how much do you want me to tell you versus how much do you want that to hit down the road? Is the real question.
Every time you ask me this question, my initial thought is
it's
I
want
to know.
You want to know, right now. But then there's the dichotomy.
But then there's also the
give me a percentage. It's okay. Think long and hard. Think about the percentage you want to be spoiled. You know me. Get as specific, get as minute as you want, get as general as you want. How much you want me to tease out versus how much you want to be saved. 100 being fully spoiled, 0 being I don't want to be spoiled at all. It's going to be somewhere in there between 0 and 100. You tell me a percentage. I'll spoil you an appropriate amount. I'm your dungeon master. I can do it for you. I promise. You know what I mean?
I think it's like no, let's not go for 60. Otherwise I'm going to make the joke that I don't want to make. No, I think it's like 60, 65, 66% of there, definitely over the halfway mark.
60%? Final answer?
Yeah, final answer.
You're wrong about this being a consistent epigraph.
Ha!
You're dead wrong.
God damn it.
This is, well, kind of a little bit. You're wrong on like a real technique. You're wrong on the way that this is not written specifically referencing Alendi as an individual. Do you want me to tell you what it is referencing? Okay. That I will leave to a greater question. It's referencing the hero of ages who they thought was Alendi.
Oh, right.
All of this whole epigraph is talking about the hero of ages. Who the prophecy. This is the prophecy that they prescribed to Alendi. This is not Alendi themselves. You are making the same mistake that the ancient Terracemen did.
I I see, I see, I see.
Thus the general. Now, when I look you in the eyes and I tell you this, because you told me 60%, so I'm going to tell you the thing I was going to hold back. This motherfucker's spreading his goddamn cheeks right now. He is opening his asshole to the camera in the truest form, and he has not taken a shower recently when he's doing it. When I tell you,
we're getting too detailed with this, Ben.
When I tell you, I'll stop the grotesqueness there. When I tell you, as I've been reading this, I've been getting upset. I've been getting mad at myself because I did not clock it. When I am reading these epigraphs with the knowledge that I have now, and I know, it's like you didn't know. You thought you were just looking at Sanderson wearing flesh-colored pants. You didn't know his ass was out the whole time. You know what I mean? You ever seen a chick? You ever seen? I mean, you're more into dudes. You ever seen a dude wearing pants that look like the same skin tone as his legs, and you don't know if it's his ass or not? And then you finally figure out if it's ass or legs, and you're either like, "God damn it," or "Oh, okay." It's a mab people. We know we objectify people too much. We look at asses too much. It's a thing. This is a thing that happens if you stare at enough ass for long enough. There will be a moment where you're like, is that legging? Is that legging or is that ass? I truly do not know anymore. It is at this moment when you are here reading this book for the first time, you think you're staring at ass. And as I'm reading through it a second time, it's like I was staring at fucking legging the whole time, and I didn't know we cut out a little hole for his asshole. And there's with the legging is asshole. It's too apt though. That's the issue. It's too accurate. It's too real. It's too appropriate.
That's what I love about it.
But so before I get to the greater Cosmere concept, talking about Sanderson's blueprint, I think I've really started to crack Sanderson's blueprint in a real way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk to me about it.
So Sanderson always has a number of ingredients. There's a couple facts of reality that exist in order for him to make a story that is interesting. There is a world that existed before the shattering of Adel Nauseam. There's a world, it exists. It has things going on there. There's stuff happening there because of Adel Nauseam, because of how Adel Nauseam existed and what it did before. That's there, that's happening. The shattering happens. People take the power, an aspect of power, a piece of the power of Adel Nauseam, take it to that place, fuck with shit. Creates a new being of existence to accompany an old being of existence. So there's a planet with things that existed from Adel Nauseam, and then a new shard comes into the planet, fucks with shit, makes a new thing. So now we have old species, we have new species, we have shard. New shard comes in, fucks with old shard and new species and old species. Conflict happens. Amount of conflict determines book series. Mistborn in the middle of the conflict. Stormlight Archives a little bit past the conflict, restirring, starting up. Elantris, fresh new conflict. They're just going at it, as far as I've understand from what I've read. Warbreaker, very old conflict. It's super in the past. Conflict happened long time ago. But all of these things happen, specifically new species is made of investiture. Always. Khandra, Spren, old species, Koloss, singers. New species coming to invade. Humans. The last piece of the recipe. So, old species,
no, right.
New species from Shard, human invaders, new Shard coming to support humans, big conflict in the solar system. Brandon Sanderson's blueprint for all of his books. Change the flavor, change the recipe, change a little bit of the seasoning. That's it. Put a king with an assassin in there. Put a power system relating to the numbers 4, 10, or 16 in there. You're good.
That's crazy, actually.
You know who else does this?
Who?
Eiichiro Oda. Oda's the first person I clocked the blueprint for. Oda's the first person I started to realize this is how famous writers make their living, Tavius. They're not writing one long story that's good. They're writing the same story over and over again. You want to know just Oda's blueprint? I've clocked that one too.
Tell me.
Luffy and crew, the heroes. Heroes come into place that is struggling. Place existed long before, has a new invader that is coming in causing an amount of problems. There is the traitor within the organization, the original member of the original group that still has good wanting, wants to reestablish the old regime under new control. The person who misunderstands the second person and thinks that person is doing ill will, and the big villain who will eventually fight the crew and the big person, the invading portion of the group. In that, you can break it down even more minute into the individual interactions between all of the different types of people and all of these things. They rinse and repeat and chain these individual stories together into one long story. The most popular fiction stories of all time, Tavius, are just a collection of heroes' journeys. That's what we're talking about. It's a hero's journey within a series of hero's journeys that create a hero's journey of hero's journeys. These are the best fantasy series of all time. That's how it goes. It's all circles, man.
It always comes back to Journey to the West, swear to you.
It's just journey. It's just hero's journey. It's just hero to the West. It's all the same shit forever. That's all it is. And that's what Sanderson does. And Sanderson has outlined a way to keep you engaged with the same recipe over and over again, because he's it's going to be, he knows the recipe is engaging. He tweaks just enough to make it fresh every time, and that's it. That's all you have to do forever.
I just have to find my recipe.
Hey, dog, I'm right on the exact same page with you now, and I genuinely think that is the thing that will make both of us grow more as creators and people. But then that's also talking about like the type of creator and people that we want to be, right? Like as writers, right? What we're talking about right now is writing. That is what we are talking about. That is the only place that specific recipe and concept really thrives. And if we're really talking about, we're talking about two old motherfuckers. So this recipe and like sequence might not be effective for very long. But I've now given to you the gift and what I have identified as the pattern that has caused both of these guys to succeed over the last couple decades, which will allow us to take that and go onward for, you know what I'm saying? So you just have to find that shorter form recipe that can fit into the greater recipe. And then you see it now. So I know I just shattered your brain on a kind of meta level of like content creation and writing and peeling back both Eiichiro Oda's and Brandon Sanderson's sort of methodology with writing.
Yeah.
You want me to really crack open the Cosmere in a way that's going to like change the way you think about it? Or do you want to hold that? Because this is a conversation that, if I'm honest, dude, I've been thinking about actually making a YouTube video for. Like finding a video of someone who wants to make a video with me that I can pitch to them and knows and understands it the way I do and can make something with. Like, this is a conversation that's going to be like a pitch, a build towards this video that I want to make eventually, because it's like a big thing of the Cosmere. It's like it is at the level of One Piece spoilers, Luffy being Nika the sun god, of like a fundamental aspect of the world, a truth that if you understand changes the context in which you view the rest of the world in the story. That's what I'm talking about. Do you want me to talk about that right now?
I gotta know now. I gotta know.
Okay. I'm trying to think of the best way to like broach and approach this. The rhythms. The rhythms are very clearly the easiest, the best way. The thing we're talking about, pulling it back out, what you're talking about, the rhythm of the Well of Ascension.
Yeah.
That is what that is. 100%. That is what that is. Without a doubt.
Yeah.
And as we talked about last episode, all of these different flavors of investiture have rhythms. Right? Energy has rhythm. The same way matter has a rhythm. So it's like that's the fact that Sandy's twisting, right? That matter in and of itself has specifically a frequency. It's not so much a rhythm. It is a frequency. It's a specific tone.
Yeah.
Not a rhythm, but a tone. All of matter exists on tones, and it seems like Sanderson is making energy exist on rhythms, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
So let's see if I can walk you there. Let's see if I can get the horse to water. So Tavius, we know that all of the different metals of allomancy have rhythms because Vin can tune into them and hear them and identify each of them the way Marsh taught her. Right?
Yeah.
That makes sense. We know the wells have rhythms that both Vin and the singers can hear and the listeners can hear and tune into.
Yeah.
Right? And then we also know that even in Stormlight, that the energy itself will be affected by and resonate with rhythms in a way that it will be affected like chemically, scientifically, however you want to describe that, right? In Rhythm of War, we see the making of war energy, of retribution. We see the creation of retribution before retribution exists. The joining of odium and of honor.
Yeah.
Via the humming of a rhythm, of a resonant frequency. So, what would you describe if you were to describe tones, different tones in a mix? So if you were to take tons of different tones, lots and lots of different tones, sounds at different volumes and pitches and frequencies, and then you were to take a bunch of rhythms and a bunch of different patterns and things, and you were to combine tones and you were to combine patterns of sound, and you were to combine them into an organized, methodical a song. Why are singers called singers? Why are listeners called listeners? What do the singers and the listeners worship?
Nauseam.
Tavius, if all of energy and all of matter, if matter is tones and energy is rhythms, what was Adel Nauseam?
A song?
I believe that Adel Nauseam was a song.
Oh, golly.
Yeah, dude. I think Adel Nauseam was a song, a perfect, I'm going to say a word here, harmony of tones and of rhythms. What do you call a collection of tones and of rhythms that are perfectly conjoined at different octaves? It's a harmony, Tavius.
Yeah.
All of these different things come down to, at the end of the day, Western worship of religion and of God really boils down to, in church, in my church where I was growing up as a white American, much like Brandon Sanderson, you go and you listen to scripture and you listen to someone talk, but there's one part of church that they call worship. You know what part of the church?
Singing.
It's when they play the music.
I'm gonna kill myself. Oh,
thank you so much for joining us on the Archive. As always, I have been Vezet_Tiny Hut Tales. With me as always.
The pixel, because as the famous The Lupin once said, everyone deserves a then for the name, the_pixel_X everywhere, because apparently the_pixel is taken everywhere.
And the last thing I'll close us with, Tavius. If every single person was made by investiture, if all of these shards are made from the same thing, Adel Nauseam, are we not all cousins? Thank you so much for joining us on the Archive.